I'm Mary Mammoliti. I'm a chef, I'm a food blogger, and I'm partially sighted. I believe that, like music, food is a universal language that brings people together. And cooking it, well, it should always be fun no matter who or where you are. So, we're taking this show on the road. Join me for Dish with Mary, Destination Dining. Most people go south for the winter, but not me. I'm in Ottawa. As the capital, this is the political heart of Canada.
Our Caesar, called the National Capital Caesar, they become doubled down on the Canadiana.
But it's also so much more. It's the hub for the Ottawa Valley, where artisans and agriculture are thriving. It's a border town along the banks of the Ottawa River, which separates Ontario from Quebec, making this the intersection of English and French in our great nation.
In French, we say, merci d'avoir venu, thanks for coming.
Here, the two solitudes don't clash. They blend to create wonderful flavors that I can't wait to check out. Speaking of blending, my first stop on this snowy morning is a little bit political and all flavor. I make my way to one of Ottawa's premier French bakeries in the Byward Market to have a sweet treat with Stéphane Béguet. What puts Le Moulin de Provence on the map in Ottawa?
Well, Le Moulin de Provence is one of the biggest bakeries in Ottawa, maybe in Ontario. It's a must-see in Ottawa and a must-taste too. So we have a lot of people coming here because our market is very busy in the summer, and we bake almost 300 fresh products every day. So it's very attractive for tourists and local people.
And I hear you're famous for an Obama cookie. What's the story behind that?
President Obama came to an official visit here in 2009, and he enjoys the moment taking some cookies for his daughter, and people got crazy with that.
What is the Obama cookie?
It's a shortbread cookie, maple leaf shaped, with a red glaze and Canada written on it. Well, first it's a big sign of Canada, and the fact that President Obama came here is like a big fame, and like joining communities.
Do you think that food can be political?
I should say we are a bakery, and here people vote for what we taste, not for what we think.
Good answer. How popular is this now famous cookie?
It's been very popular after. I mean, we sell several thousands a month.
All this talk about the cookie. Can I taste one?
For sure. We have one for you here.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
This is delicious.
Shortbread, sweet, but not too much.
It's balanced, it's crispy, but it's got that buttery that kind of just melts in your mouth. It's not your typical shortbread. So if it's good enough for President Obama, it's good enough for me.
Enjoy it, Mary.
So that was the political influence in the Ottawa food scene. Now to find out more about the French influences with Chef Michel Gaumond at St. Martha's Brasserie. Now, here in Ottawa, we're so close to Quebec, the French influence is very strong.
Right. I think all in all, the French cooking is the base of a lot of cooking. Like you see it a lot in Asian food, you see it a lot in all over the place. And I think we see it more in Ottawa because we're such a diverse community.
What makes our French cooking different from, say, the cuisine in France?
In Canada, I think we're more adventurous and we bring in a lot of ingredients that are found here. In my opinion, I think it's better, but
And I'm sure there are a lot of ingredients or a lot of things that we do or we use in our cooking, in our meals, that we don't really realize that they actually are French influence. Like, what would some of that be?
So the base of every French cooking, mainly, that might be a bold statement, but everything we do here and that I've learned to do always starts with 3 ingredients. It's celery, onion, and carrot. So that's called a mirepoix, and that's the base of every flavor that you're gonna get in French cooking.
So, I noticed your kitchen's directly behind us.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a chance to get in there and do something?
100%, let's go.
So we've made it into the kitchen, which is my happy place,
Yes,
which I'm sure
mine
is
too.
yours. What do I have in front of me and what are we making?
We're gonna make cassoulet, which is a very French regional dish. It is a wintry dish and it's supposed to keep you warm. It's supposed to, which I think in Canada we've kind of taken that and ran with it as well. We have a lot of hearty dishes, and in the winter we eat really heavy. And I think that probably stems from things like this, because when it was cold, you need to stay warm.
Something that sticks to your bones.
That's right. So I've taken a classic dish. It's always beans and lots of meats, obviously the mirepoix, like I was talking about, and some aromatics.
What's the first step in making cassoulet?
First thing we want to do is get the bouquet garni done. So we're going to take the leek leaves and put the rest of the herbs into it. So the thyme, the rosemary, and the bay. And then tie that up with string, put it aside.
What else goes in here?
Okay, so lots of butter.
Now we're talking.
Okay, we're going to put the butter in a pan, get that nice and hot to melt it on a low to medium heat. Once the butter is melted, we can add our ingredients. So we'll start with the mirepoix, onion, celery, then carrot. Sweat those down. And then I like to get just a little bit of color to them, just to get them a bit nutty.
For me, I rely on scent a lot. So when I get that nuttiness.
Yeah, you'll get a nutty, almost sweet smell.
Beautiful, okay.
Once you start getting some color on it, we're gonna wanna shock the pan with more ingredients. We'll start with the bacon to get all the fat from the bacon, then go to the duck, and then the wild boar.
This is smelling so good as Chef Michel scoops it all from pan to pot. And I give it a little mix.
Then we're gonna add the beans to it. I don't rinse them, I like the starch on them because that's gonna help create the rest of the dish. We're gonna cover everything with a bit of water and some stock for flavor, as well as the bouquet garni that we made. Once everything's in the pan, you let it cook for about 10 minutes.
Next step's plating. What do we do?
It is. So what we're gonna do is scoop some of the cassoulet into a bowl. I like to top it with a bit of arugula because I like the pepperiness of the arugula. I like to top it with a lamb chop because why not?
A little more meat, why not?
That's right. So on top of that, here I have my signature spruce tip reduction, which I make with a Canadian whiskey and spruce tips, sugar, water.
Oh, I like that.
And then it's ready to eat.
What better way to enjoy this traditional French dish than with a glass of French wine?
I'm super excited for you to taste this. This is my favorite dish. Dig in.
I've been waiting for you to say that. I'm trying to get a little bit of everything with that. Oh my God, this is so good. It's bursting with flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, you can taste every little bit that went in here, but it marries together. Like, it's just, I can't even talk. Okay.
Everything works together here.
It really does. Thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
Well, in French we say merci d'avoir venu. Thanks for coming.
Dish with Mary, Destination Dining will be right back. Welcome back to Dish with Mary, Destination Dining. Ottawa, Ontario. I can't believe this is my first trip to our nation's capital. I'm near the Byward Market downtown and meeting up with executive chef Stephen LaSalle at the Andes Hotel rooftop bar for a special drink.
So why are Canadians so obsessed with Caesars?
I think it's kind of like our cocktail. I think you can only find it here.
And what makes a Caesar so Canadian?
Well, it's kind of like the base, that kind of like that clam and tomato base. You can only find it in Canada. It's really hard to find elsewhere around the world. And it's that clam juice that kind of makes it.
What makes your Caesar stand out from the others?
So we kind of, doubled down on the Canadiana. So we call ours the National Capital Caesar, the NCC. And so we kind of replaced the normal celery salt rim with a rimmer made of ketchup chips, another ingredient you can only find in Canada. And then we kind of, we added a little bit of East Coast seaweed to it, some sugar and spices, peppercorn, and to make a really fun rimmer. That's super Canadian.
Do we get to make one?
Yes.
My very first Caesar.
Your very first Caesar. So we're going to start off with our glass. I'm going to grab a little lime, and we're just going to do a little around the edges.
So you're just rimming it?
Yeah, nice and sticky. And then we're going to coat it in our ketchup chips. Then we're going to go to our vodka. We're just going to do an ounce.
All right.
And I'm just going to add just a tiny little splash of mezcal, kind of like a smoky tequila-like spirit. Just to kind of give it a little bit of oomph and a little bit of smokiness. And then we're going to start our seasonings. We're going to start with a couple dashes of hot sauce. So usually it's Tabasco, but you can kind of switch it up. 2 dashes, and then kind of like unofficial rule is it's double the dashes of Worcestershire to hot sauce.
Oh, okay.
2, 3, and then we'll top up our ice. And I like to use Walter Caesar. So it's actually named after Walter Schell, the inventor of the Caesar. It's an all-natural Caesar mix. It's made in Toronto, vine-ripened tomatoes, and it's actually a North Atlantic clams. So it's actually ocean-wise certified clams. So it's sustainable seafood, nice and tasty. I like this one. And we'll give it a little stir. Now it's ready to garnish.
So we moved all the garnishes in front of us. What do we have?
All right, so we got some classic ones. I'm gonna suggest the celery because it's pretty classic. We got some citrus, limes, lemons, and then some fun stuff. Bacon, pickles, a little caprese salad, olives, some gherkins, beef jerky, a couple different types of sausage, fresh cucumber, and then since it is, a very Canadian cocktail, a little Canadian flag.
Okay. So do I get to garnish?
Go for it.
I stay humble with a celery stalk, gherkin, olives, and of course a Canadian flag, while Chef Steven, on the other hand...
Yeah, so I went for the celery, the citrus, and then some bacon, a little bit of chorizo sausage, cucumber to kind of cool down that hot sausage, spicy sausage.
I should have had you go first.
And maybe, if we got some meat going, so why not some beef jerky? And you know what? I like your flag there too, so I want one as well. So there we go.
So we've got an executive chef Caesar. We've got a home cook Caesar. But how do you drink it with all that goodness on top?
Well, you eat it first.
Oh,
and then you drink it.
And then you drink it. Speaking of drinking, can we go ahead?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, that's not what I expected. It's really good. When you hear clam juice, my first Caesar, now I know what I've been missing.
Cheers.
That was a tasty cocktail. And now it's time for a snack. I head across the bridge to a very popular spot in Gatineau, Quebec to talk poutine with owner Richard Rivers.
We are at La Petite. Wait, I'm gonna get this. La Pataterie Eloise.
Uloise.
Uloise. I was so
Pataterie
close.
Uloise. Yeah, almost.
What does that mean?
It's a pataterie from Hall because we're in the Hall sector. That's why it's La Pataterie Uloise.
And what makes your place so popular?
I think it's the best poutine in the region.
Of course. So I noticed that you hand cut fries?
Yes, hand-cut fries. Every morning, some guy peeled the potato, and we have it hand-cut right there, so it's fresh every day.
Everyone in Canada knows how delicious poutine is. What are the basic ingredients to making the perfect poutine?
You got fresh fries, it's a red potato, a sugar potato, homemade brown sauces with some French curds from St. Albert in Ontario. That's what makes the big goat poutine.
That sounds delicious.
It is.
Do I get to try it?
Yes, you get to try it. You get to get the most popular one in here. It's the smoked meat poutine.
I watch as Richard and his staff pull together their signature version for me.
Here, Mary, here's the large smoked meat poutine.
Oh my God, it looks so good. Can I just dig right in?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Right away.
Okay. Wait for it. It's my happy dance. This is so good.
It look good.
I mean, why wouldn't you be happy? Fries, gravy, cheese curds, smoked meat. How do I say thank you very much for the poutine in French?
Merci beaucoup pour la bonne poutine.
Merci beaucoup pour la bonne poutine. Yes!
Perfect. She's French now.
It's a new day, and my journey takes me to Almont, a small town outside Ottawa. Here I find Fortune Farms Sugar Bush, and I meet manager Ray Fortune amongst their acreage of over 7,000 maple trees. What makes maple syrup such an iconic Canadian food?
Well, it all started with the native people. They were making syrup before the Europeans came to this country. So the native settlers learned how to do it from the native people. They found it, and they used it for cooking and for a sweetener, and it became synonymous with Canada.
This is a prime area for growing maple trees. How much syrup does this region produce?
Between Quebec and Ontario, we produce 80% of the world's production of maple syrup.
All of this comes from these big, beautiful maple trees. Tell me the importance of the trees.
Oh, we couldn't do this without maple. This particular tree here is about 100 years old.
Wow.
It takes a long time to grow a maple tree, and these trees are the lifeblood of the maple industry.
Now, to tap this beauty maple, Ray gathers up the tools of the trade, a hammer, a small spigot called a spile, and I get the drill.
Are you ready to go with the drill?
I am.
Okay,
More?
that looks good. Perfect. We now have a hole, and we're ready for the spile. We'll trade tools here.
Okay. I'll give you the drill. What are you handing me? The hammer?
Take the spile and put it into the hole.
Okay.
Give it a little tap with the hammer. Just eat it. Okay,
That's it.
try one more tap. Perfect.
I connect the tubing of the drop line to my spile in the tree.
Now we're ready to collect sap. So the sap's going to come out of this tree, through the spile, down the tube, along that big long pipeline, and it's going to go down to our collecting house.
The pipes actually connect from tree to tree.
Yup.
From the collecting house, the sap is stored in the tank room and it'll be cooked down later in the season to become syrup. But I get to taste the first sap of this season.
Mary, this is maple sap that was collected last night. Looks like water, but it has some sugar in it. I hope you can taste a bit. Shall we have a taste?
Yes, please.
What do you think?
You get that hint of sweetness.
Yes. Sometimes the sap is sweeter than this, but this is tastes very good. It'll make
It
very
really
good
does.
syrup.
I use maple syrup in so much of my cooking, and to learn how it gets to my table has given me a whole new appreciation.
Well, you came to the right place. Because we have some syrup ready for you, and you can take some home with you.
I would love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dish with Mary Destination Dining will return. Welcome back to Dish with Mary Destination Dining. This is my first trip to Ottawa, and of course, I find an iconic Canadian food in the capital that is named after our national animal. I visit Karim Mufarij at the flagship downtown Beavertail's location to get the lowdown.
So what exactly is a beaver tail?
So don't worry, we're not actually going to be eating our nation's animal today. We're going to be eating a pastry that's designed to look like a beaver tail. They're actually a whole wheat cracked wheat pastry that we float cook on some heart-healthy canola oil.
Flow cooked.
Float cooked, yeah. It's
What is
basically
that?
our nicer way of saying fried.
What do we top the beaver tail with?
So for toppings, we have our classic topping, which is our cinnamon sugar. Then we have the killaloo, which comes with a lemon on the side. Those are by far our most popular and most favorite beaver tails. Aside from that, we have lots of toppings to choose from. We have chocolate, we have vanilla spreads on top, Oreo, some peanut butter, and even some savory options like garlic and cheese.
They all sound so
Oh,
good.
yeah. I think it's about time we made you one.
I would love that.
Karim grabs a pre-measured disc of pastry and stretches it out before dunking it into the fryer to float cook. And voila, it's ready for me to make Killaloo Sunrise.
So we're gonna start with a nice layer of salted butter there. Give it a nice good coating.
Okay, so we've got some melted butter. Just go right over top.
Oh yeah, just like that.
Done.
Perfect. Now
Next.
you can give it a good patting in that cinnamon sugar blend that we have.
Okay.
Awesome.
Pat it right down.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So now you can just slide it into one of those sleeves right there.
Okay, beaver tail sleeve.
Perfect, and finish it off with a nice juicy lemon on top.
And there we go.
Perfect, and there you got a Killaloo Sunrise.
Awesome. Okay, so let me just take this lemon, squeeze it over top. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
There's no wrong way to do this.
Oh no, get a nice amount on there.
Moment of truth.
Enjoy.
This is so good.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking with my mouth full.
Glad
So
to hear
good.
it.
That lemon had so much to it.
Adds that little kick in there.
This is definitely better than the tail of a beaver.
Oh yeah, and a lot of other flavors to try as well.
So beaver tails are pastries. What a sweet relief. Now I'm traveling to the Ottawa Valley for a spirited discovery with Chef Bill Prue. Nestled away in the trees inside this rustic home, he created a unique spin on a breakfast staple. I'm here to sample Chef Bill Presents Drunken Jams.
So can I get drunk off the jams?
No, actually, I cooked the jams long enough that the alcohol actually cooks off of them, so this way they're safe for everyone. Even kids can have them.
And where did the idea come from?
I was going to craft fairs and selling stuff, and I was looking at everybody else's jams, and I thought, I want to do something different. So I started off with strawberry daiquiri. Then we ended up having some blueberries, which I'm not fond of. We had some gin that was horrible, but it was great for cooking. So I mixed the two and made a blueberry lemon gin, and now I love blueberry jam, and it goes great with everything.
Okay, so I need to ask, tell me about the goatee.
This is my pink.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, and now I do it at shows. My customers see me, they know, they look for me, and they see it. It actually brings people to my tables.
And what are your most popular flavors?
My most popular flavors are my tequila sunrise, my lime margarita, and my new one, my red snapper, which is cranberry, amaretto, and whiskey.
They all sound so good.
Thank you. Yes, they're tasty. They're a multi-purpose jam. They don't just go on toast. They go on cheese trays, charcuterie boards.
So with all this talk about drunken jam, I can't help but notice the glass of margarita in front of me.
Yes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to try my lime margarita jam, and then I'm going to give you a sip of a margarita, and you tell me how close it is. Okay? So if I can get you to just to try a little spoon of the jam. So I even add salt, same as the drink, and it's made with fresh limes. Let's try an actual lime margarita.
Okay. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, they taste identical.
They have the lime, they have the tequila.
And what about the salad?
I actually use the lime margarita as my base instead of vinegar. So I use the lime margarita, olive oil, salt and pepper, with some diced apples, celery, white onions. I put it on arugula or microgreens.
Okay, so you're using the marmalade in the dressing.
Yes, would you like to try?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You get that citrusy with the sweetness of the marmalade.
Yes.
A little spicy from the arugula.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
A little peppery.
Yes.
For my last taste, Chef Bill's wife Sarah leads us outside to sit around the bonfire with a tray of all the fixins for their drunken jam spin on a campfire classic. First, roast a marshmallow. Next, spread some raspberry mojito drunken jam on a graham cracker.
Smush.
We're gonna smush
Oh, look at this.
and take a big ooey gooey bite.
Look at this thing.
So how's your first raspberry mojito s'more?
Oh my gosh. I want to kind of say arriba and yummy at the same time. Is there a word for it?
It's a good thing we're outside, it's messy.
Very. I feel like I'm wearing half it on my face already.
I know I am.
I'll take some more of these.
Absolutely.
There is no need to candy coat this trip. Ottawa has been so sweet. Could it be the politics?
Shortbread, sweet but not too much.
I cooked French cuisine,
What else goes in here?
Lots of butter.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
visited both sides of the Ottawa River, and I even tried to pronounce some key French phrases.
Merci beaucoup pour la bonne poutine.
She's French now.
I ventured out of the city to the heart of maple syrup country.
You get that hint of sweetness.
Yes, sometimes the sap is sweeter than this.
And experienced many first tastes.
My first Caesar? Now I know what I've been missing.
Cheers.
This is so good.
Oh, yeah?
I'm talking with my mouth full.
Ottawa, I'm not sure why it took me so long to get here, but I'm so glad I finally made it. The flavors did not disappoint. Till next time. Host, Mary Mammoliti. Producer, Rebecca Campbell. Field producer, Lisa No. Videographers, Darcy DeToni, Patrick Kelly. Story editors, Rebecca Campbell, Lisa No. Editor, Miriam Bakhtiar. Integrated Described Video Specialist, M. Williams. Audio post, Mark Phoenix. Graphics, Mike Smith. Executive Producer Michelle Dudas. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2022, Accessible Media Inc.